Hey, everybody, it's 1:07 on a Saturday afternoon. We are live inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton is live. She is the owner of the agency Atlanta. We are live, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. You can give us a call with all your real estate questions. My sister, welcome on a holiday weekend.
That's right. We're ready to talk about real estate because it is spring.
And that's this is the big time for real estate. It's like this is the biggest sales time.
It is. And it has been fascinating. This time of year is usually the busiest time of the year in the Atlanta marketplace. This year is busy. It's just different than it's been in years past because of everything that we talk about every week. Affordability issues, interest rates, they peaked this week, they came back down. So there's a lot of volatility in the market, but we're still selling houses. And how we're positioning people to buy and sell houses is different. We have so many interesting stories happening right now in this. But
is it because the market's so volatile?
It is. It is. And I'm also talking to a lot of people who are sitting on tons of equity. The amount of equity that homeowners have in this country right now is at an all-time high. And
can you explain equity to yes, I know homeowners know, but maybe they don't.
Right. So people move, the average was 5 to 7 years. People are staying in their homes longer than they have in the past. So we're seeing longer, maybe it's 7 to 10 years as the average. But there's many, many people who've been in their home, 15, 20, 25 years, and there's no compelling reason for them to leave. So we have them locked in, preventing inventory for younger buyers who would normally want to buy their home.
Right.
They're staying there because the compelling reason isn't there. The cost of a new home is high. They either have their home paid for or such a low interest rate because they refinanced when rates were so low. It just doesn't really make sense to them, and they don't have to move. So those are the people that I want to speak to today. You're sitting on a lot of equity and you're in a home that might be dated. And so today I brought back our friend and favorite landscaping company here in Atlanta. Scott Chatham with Chatham Landscaping is joining us because we have been talking about, fine, you don't want to move. How do you make your home more desirable, more enjoyable for you to stay there a little longer, and yet improve it so that when it does come time to sell, you are very well positioned. That's what we want to talk about today.
And it's all so these are people, you're in your home a while, you have equity in your home, you're not looking to move. What do you do?
Or you're thinking about making a move and you look and you're like, maybe I should just improve the home I'm in to make it more appealing. And I think it's spring. We talk about, I have a friend who's a travel agent. Shout out to Emer. The travel industry is feeling the inflation, affordability. People are not wanting necessarily to travel as much. So staycations are way better if you have an outdoor living space with a kitchen. And hey, Scott.
Hey, how are you doing?
Let's introduce Scott.
But before, let's go to Scott. But I want people to understand what they're getting ready to hear. If you can just explain it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Entertaining at home is far more delightful when you've got an outdoor living space that extends the living area of the home.
Gotcha.
And we see some very nicely done outdoor living spaces to include not just an outdoor pergola with nice terraced landscaped areas, but kitchens, patio areas. You're actually creating separate living rooms in the outdoor space of your backyard. And water features, there's just so many nice things you can do. And what that does is adds, in effect, it's not necessarily livable square footage, but it really does extend the square footage of the home to the outdoor space. We're seeing nice TV setups. So during football season, you entertain out back, and it creates a resort-like feeling in your own home. And we can do this for people with small homes and big homes and everything in between. And this is where Scott comes in because you need a good architect to make sure it's done well. I can't stand seeing poorly done backyards.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, thank you for having me on. This
Yes.
weekend is actually a landscaper's dream with the weather.
Yeah.
But Atlanta's blessed with that. We have about 75% of the days in a typical year that are usable outside. And so what we see is you can increase the square footage of your home, usable square footage of your home, by creating nice outdoor areas, like you're saying, pergolas, covered areas.
What is a pergola?
It's like it's a covered area for shade, but it allows some water through.
Okay.
An arbor terrace.
Yep.
I mean, but then also like the fireplace, outdoor fireplaces. And for the fall, we have a lot of those that will have TVs above them, and it's just a great entertainment area
Yep.
that is still warm enough, but you can sit outside and give you that feel of absolutely able to entertain and extend your house about thousands of square feet.
When you do something like that, right? So you take the equity in your home, you call Scott, you do something, right? What's more, what adds more value? Is it the curb appeal that we talk about, or is it actual value to the home, the price of the home, if and when you go to sell it? Like what's bigger, I guess?
All of the above. The curb appeal is what we talk about on the front of the home. When you pull up into the neighborhood, when you pull up into the driveway, how the home looks that from the curb. You're standing on the curb. How does it look? It needs to be appealing. That is the primary catch your eye moment for a buyer who's looking at your home. But what we're talking about today with the outdoor living space and extending it, it doesn't add true. I mean, you could add even a covered porch. There's lots of things you can do, but it's not going to add livable, what we would count, an appraiser would count as livable square footage to the home. So you're not making your home bigger, but you are making it more desirable.
Gotcha.
So in any neighborhood, you're competing against your neighbors for pricing and valuation, and people will pay more. Now, depending on how extensively you build out and you design your backyard, you may not get dollar for dollar back for it. But right now I'm talking.
Will you get anything?
Absolutely.
Like if I create a
You
nice,
will.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I'm asking.
Yes.
If my home is 400,000, 500,000, and I do landscaping and I do the outside, the pergola and all that, does it go to 425?
Yes,
Okay.
you will get more money for it, but more
If it's done right.
Thank you.
If it's
Thank
done
you.
right.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen some really bad ones,
Okay.
and those actually are a deterrent to a home selling. I'll use. For an example of what not to do would be an above ground pool with a patio built around it, like a porch. What do you even call that?
A deck. Yeah,
decking
yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
That actually detracts from the value of the home because that's just not a desirable thing.
Right.
So there are, and then like landscape pavers that were not prepped properly. The land is crooked or not level. Scott's probably dying with the language I'm using here, but when they're poorly done, it doesn't add value because it's something that someone's going to have to redo in the future.
Understood.
So we don't want that, but it really separates. Right now, we are in a market where homes that are very, very nicely done, they are flying off the shelves. We have multiple offers. They are bidding. There's bidding wars on those. And then other homes are sitting and not selling at all. Or it's taking, 40, 50, 60 days to get people out to look at and to get them under contract. So I think one of the primary differentiators here is a home that has a nice outdoor feature like this is going to be more desirable when it's nicely done to sell in the future.
If let's I want to ask Scott this question, right? I've got a moderate budget. Not high, not super low, just a moderate budget to do something outside, what we're talking about. What is the most popular thing that people do that you see and, that people do all over the place? They love it. It's great. And it adds that
wow.
panache, that wow.
Right now, what we're seeing probably the most popular thing is creating a nice, accessible patio, whether it's stone or pavers or some type of architectural feature that matches the house.
Okay.
Okay, not just poured concrete. If you've got a stone house, not just poured concrete, but some type of architectural element that matches the house that looks like it was built at the same time as the house. So creating the patio and then having a space for like an outdoor fireplace, fire
Gotcha.
pit. I should say. And there's a lot of nice ones now that you can buy, so you don't have to build a built-in one. So if you did decide
So you can keep your budget.
You could keep
down,
your budget down
but, yeah.
low, and if you do decide, hey, I don't want the fire pit anymore, you can move it.
Move it, right, because it
And
comes
you
as
still-
one
you
full
still-
assembled thing.
You still have the patio.
Right.
That creates a nice sitting area and all that stuff. And then you can enhance it with, putting Edison lights above it, lights above. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to make it look like that resort. But the key is to making it accessible and doing a good design that makes it.
It has to flow from the back of the house into the living area. Yes.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Those are the numbers to call with all of your real estate questions. Deborah's here. Scott Chatham of Chatham Landscape Services is here. If you have any landscaping questions, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. We will be right back.